Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Second Alarm Fishing. Today we're going to be checking out the Sixgill Karve 3000. It is a 9+1, 5.11 gear ratio, and it's made by Sixgill Fishing Products out of Southlake, Texas. Now, some of you might know that Sixgill has quickly become my go-to rods. I'm in the process of swapping as much as I can over to them. I love their product. First reel here. This is their lower end spinning reel. I believe it was $24.99. I think I paid like $31 shipped for it. And let's take a look. So inside the box, we've got the reel. We've got the handle. And we have the reel diagram. Let's see if I can get this on here. We've got the reel diagram. For any of you that lost it. And the parts list. Pretty standard with most reels. So, we're going to do a full breakdown on this. I'm curious what it looks like inside, especially for 25 bucks. So, tools. You're going to need 10mm wrench. You're going to need mini screwdriver set. Probably only going to need a Phillips out of there. I use a pair of hemostats to put my rings back in, or my clips back in, and a pick to get them out, usually. So, we'll set the reel handle off to the side and get right into it. Drag cap. We'll start with the drag actually. So inside here, you've got this clip here. You just grab it, give it a little turn, press it into the center a little bit, and it'll release. Don't lose it. I got the drag washers and felts. Grab that pick. Grab this bottom one. And the bearing. It's a spool bearing. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw a $25 reel with a spool bearing, but that's awesome. All right, so you got one felt. Actually, we'll go from the top down. A flat washer. Got a felt. Got the eared washer in the center. Another felt. Another washer. And one last felt. So that's 3 washers, 3 felts, and the clip. And then you have the spool bearing. And I almost think I did. So there's another spool bearing down in the base here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this one. Oh yeah. I just like to come in behind it with the pick. Pull it out a little. keep track. If you can get them with a pair of hemostats, get it with a pair of hemostats, because when these go flying, they go flying and they're that small. So good luck. Good luck when they go flying. There we go. Second spool bearing. And the spool. I actually, you know what? I really like the black and blue design on it, and I love the font that Sixgill uses. Just a nice little added bonus. All right, and then you've got another washer here, clear plastic washer. Keep an eye on it, and that is your clicker gear. So when you hear line peeling, drag going, it's actually clicking against this to make that noise for you. Oop. So, gotta grab a screwdriver. We'll start by taking out this lock screw here. And then let's refer to this real quick. What is that actually called? 14. Just a nut. All right. So this is reverse threaded. So it's righty loosey, lefty tighty. And if you don't know that, try and turn it to the right. You are going to strip that. I've worked on many reels where people stripped out their pinion gear and had to have them replaced. We'll set it off to the side for now. So you've got one, 2, 3 screws on the bearing caps here. One, two, and that's 3. The cover comes off. Where's my pick? All right, so then here you've got a bearing in the center. You've got a bushing on the outside. And this should just pull up. There we go. You can separate the two, which I will do. There we go. So you have your bushing here. Get your bearing here. So this spring here, I don't know where my other pick went. We'll use this one. We should be fine. All right, so this spring here, very small spring, and they are notorious for flying off when you pull one side. You're not going to find it. So I like to do it with a pick. I get my pick down there. Pretty much just slide it up onto the pick. It comes right off, and it can't go anywhere. Same thing on the install as well. Next bearing. So this is your That's your one-way clutch right here. There we go. Put that back in there for now. And I'm going to go ahead and take the side cover off now. It's 4 screws. One here, one here, one here, and one here. So I was actually out fishing one night last week, doing a little cat fishing, and I set my rod down like an idiot, right on the ground, pitch black. Had one flashlight between the two of us. It was a last minute decision to go fishing that evening, and I took a step back, and sure enough, what did I step on? Actually, the reel's right here. Crushed that handle. Now that's a 6,000. This is a 3,000. I didn't really need the 6,000 for what I was doing. I got it on an opportunity. So I wanted to give the Sixgill reels a try. Like I said, I love their rods. So we'll find out. And then you get your 4th one up here. Hopefully this weekend I can get out and do some fishing with this, and do a nice working review on it. So 4 screws come out. Grab the side cover, pull it off. Get the side cover off. Take a pick. And I use the back side here. I'm not using the point. I'm laying it down on the bearing like so. I could also use this side just the same. Push it out evenly. There's bearing and your side cover. There we go. Washers off. Gear comes out. You can pull your pinion gear at this point. Pull straight up. Got another bearing on here. Bearing and your pinion gear. Pull up. Take the retaining plate out. There's your retaining plate. Screw for your retaining plate. And what that does is that holds the slider in here, traps it down on this corner. You can take it out. Quite a bit of grease in here. So on the back side, actually, you know what? We'll get into that when we go to put it back together. Got one more gear in here. Maybe it'll come out. There we go. Got one more gear, some grease. And with this being a brand new reel, all this grease here will get distributed around as I get into using it. So you have one more bearing down here. Try not to put this down with all the grease. You got one more bearing down here. Same process to push it out through the other side there. And you have your spring up here for your reversal. That just slides out, slides back in. As you can see, the longer side of it is going to go towards the inside. The shorter end out towards the switch. So on an older reel here, I clean it up, put some fresh grease in there. But like I said, this just came out of the box, so hasn't even been mounted yet. So back together. Gear goes in. Shaft goes in with your slider, which if you need to replace your slider, I didn't realize that there was grease over the screw, but there is a screw head right here. That screw head backs out and separates the shaft from the slider there. Now on your slider, on the back side, there's this groove. That groove needs to sit on that nub. On this nub right here. Sit down on it. And that's where you get your up and down. It's your oscillating gear. Cover goes back on. Trying to get a little grease on there. Sometimes I throw a little grease on there and it helps the screw kind of stay with the screwdriver. Screw goes back into the plate. Plate goes on. I like to take my my pinion gear at this point. Slide her in. Next, you get your main gear here. This end here is going to sit into this bearing over on the other side. This is actually where your reel handle goes through. Washer goes back on. I like to replace those anytime I'm opening up a reel. Again, brand new reel, unnecessary. Bearing. You want to do this straight. You don't want it to go in sideways or anything. Line it up. Press it in. Doesn't take much. At this point, make sure everything is lined up. Drop the cover. It should seat immediately. I like to take this bearing as well. Throw it in. It helps everything kind of stay in place. Alright, so 4 screws again. Back in, they go 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2. So like I was saying before, I broke my other reel fishing, and while I was sitting there fishing, I ordered this reel. I want to say it was a Friday night that we were fishing, and late. It was probably 1-2 o'clock in the morning Friday, and I had this reel in hand Tuesday afternoon, I want to say. So they're very, very quick. Very quick. Four screws back in. Wipe a little bit of that grease I had on my hand off. Oh, I got it everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to come over here. Sits right down in. And again, grab that spring with my pick. Do not want it flying. This is definitely one of those things, if you get into opening up your reels frequently, or have numerous reels and decide you're going to maintain them yourself, this is definitely something to grab a few extras of. I've had times. I've also had to use a sock or like pantyhose on the end of a shop vac and just vacuum everything up until you find it in there. Oop. See? Almost went for a ride. Oop. I got my hands all greasy, now I can't hold on to it. Once. Twice. There we go. All right. See what I'm talking about? I would have went. All right. Now that that's in, next bearing. Oops, excuse me. That didn't make any sense. So I like to put a drop of high-speed oil on each of these bearings on their way back in. Last time I'll say it, it's a brand new reel, so there's no need for it. That seats right into there. And you have your cap. Cap goes back on, and I like to start all 3 bolts before I tighten any of them. Just make sure everything's lined up. That's 2. And 3. And there's the 3rd one. Alrighty. So now, excuse me for the dog hair. I'm sure you can hear Belle walking around behind me. So now you're going to take your rotor, and if you look at the top of your pinion, you can see that 2 sides are shaved. Match it to the rotor. And there's actually a washer that sits down here. There we go. So this washer is trapped under the rotor. It sits right here on top of the bearing. and your pinion. And your rotor sits over it. Line it up, slide it through. Put your lock nut back on. And remember, it is lefty tighty, righty loosey. It is reverse thread. I like to put it on by hand as tight as I can with my fingers. And I take my 10 mil, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten it enough that a flat side is sitting where the screw goes. So that's it. That's it. That was like a 1/6 of a turn right there. Just to line that up. Now I'm going to take the screw that locks that nut in place. I'm going to try and get it on here. There we go. Screw that down. Clicker gear slides on. The clear plastic washer goes right over it. Now let's put our spool back together. We've got our bottom bearing, bottom spool bearing. Sit it in there. Drops right in. Grab the spring. I don't like to grab it on the edge out here or the first. I like to come in a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier. Tuck one side in, twist, and push. Now you want to make sure that the entirety of that spring is in the channel, or it will come out. Check it. Looks good. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh. Alright. Flip it over. Same thing on the top. This one does not have a retaining spring. Just sits in there. The drag set holds that all in place. And start stacking your drag. Felt at the bottom. Washer above. Another felt. Then you've got the eared washer, which sits into these grooves right here. Then you've got another felt and another washer. Then we've got another spring. Again, grab the spring, tuck it, starting on the opposite end that you grabbed it from. And here's a good example of it not sitting right. This little ear right here and this ear right here are not in the channel. If they're not in the channel, they will pop out. So just take a pick or something, little screwdriver, move it up. It's locked in. Spool goes back on. You might need to spin it a little to line up those two washers in there. They're actually cut to hold. And then your drag cap. And your reel handle. Oop. And your reel handle. Your reel handle goes right through that main gear that I showed you. Inside. Comes out the other side here. spin that down, lock her in place, and there you go. So that is the Sixgill Karve 3000. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to get out this weekend and do some fishing. If I do, I'll bring this with me. I will get I'll get a good working review going on it and post the video. So, with that said, I think I'm about done for the day. Clean up some tools here. And I guess that's about it. So if you like the video, give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to the page so you can see what's coming out. And go check us out on Instagram. I do a lot of pictures and video clips on Instagram. Obviously right here, Second Alarm Fishing. Second Alarm Fishing on YouTube, and I just started a Second Alarm Fishing Facebook page, which will more than likely just be a copy of the Instagram page, except on Facebook. So go give Sixgill a look. It is sixgillfishing.com. They have two, now don't quote me here, but I'm pretty sure they do 2 buy one get one rod sales a year, and they are still in the middle of a buy one get one reel sale. There's certain reels, certain rods that they do. That's how I first got into them, was their buy one get one. It's actually a divorce present for myself. I got a pair of their creature rods, and I love them. I absolutely love them. I have a few casting rods. I obviously have to get a spinning rod from them on their next buy one get one to put this on. Until then, it'll probably go on one of my quantum rods, and yeah, that's about it. So like, share, subscribe, go check out the Instagram and the Facebook page, and if you've got some Sixgill rods and reels, let's hear about them. What do you like? What do you not like? I've yet to find anything that I don't like, even their customer service. So with that said, you guys have a nice day. Until next time, tight lines.